Sun is in my face. So on Saturday, I tried to live stream on Facebook, and I don't know if Facebook didn't like it or what happened, but we got cut off about halfway to the house. Figured we'd try to do something special for our Facebook friends and family. We finished up. I expect to see some numbers here today, probably before I get out to the big road. For those that may be watching the replay, I do this twice a day, Monday through Friday, just to give content for people to interact with. YouTube also makes a clip, the YouTube short, out of something that I'm talking about on stream. Over on Patreon, patreon.com/Brother Alec. I put out daily devotionals Monday through Friday. They come out at noon. Right now we're working our way through Proverbs. For those who might be interested in helping the ministry with $1 a month, you'll also get weekly topical studies, kind of a deep dive into whatever topic is the next one. So far we've put out 2 different topical studies. The first one being spiritual maturity. The most recent for the members is God's wisdom is not hidden. I've got a couple of more that I'm working on. Lights are on. Blood pressure's good. Temperature's good. Gas is good-ish. Voltage is good. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Glad that you could hop on and be a hitchhiker for a bit. I do this twice a day. Just something for my community. I answer questions. In the afternoon stream or evening stream, however it works out, I usually do a Q&A, and I've been kind of tossing the idea around in my head of doing a morning Q&A, just for, this is a more consistent time. So if you guys would like to leave some questions, I think I have a spot later on in the ride where I can stop and answer some questions. I am a Christian. This is where I go out into the whole world and spread the good news that Jesus Christ died on the cross for our sins. Hello. What's that, Emerson? How are you this morning? Not sure if you're a believer or not, but I hope God blesses you in some way today. Perhaps if you have a prayer request or praise of what God's done in your life, leave it in the comments. Like I said, I'll stop towards the end of the ride, answer some questions, get to some prayer requests. Oh, bumps. I don't know if you can sub to me every day, but at least you're watching. Thank you, Emerson. Give it a thumbs up. Boost those numbers. I'm more than willing to have a conversation with anybody about the things I talk about. One of the main things I talk about is the daily devotionals and topical deep dives, the studies that I put out over on Patreon. About 90% of the content's free. There is the topical studies are for those who are willing to do $1 a month. I keep it low so that it's not that much of a barrier to entry. Working our way through Proverbs on the daily devotionals. Those come out Monday through Friday at noon. The topical studies, I've only been doing that for like 2 weeks now, but there's the most recent one is God's wisdom is not hidden. And the one before that was spiritual maturity. I've got a couple others that I'm working on. You as well, Emerson. Have a good day. The other thing I like to talk about is even before I've done YouTube, Facebook, any of that, back in the day, about, I want to say 2012-ish, I started advocating for intentional tiny house communities for the unsheltered and the unemployed. Give them a place where they can learn a skill set, mostly, farming, gardening, however you want to word it. My generation, we don't have the skill set to really grow our own fruits and vegetables, raise our own livestock, and at least have a hand in building our own shelter. Thank you, Emerson. I appreciate that. But I also have a secondary skill set of working with my hands. My day job is doing oil changes, changing tires, little stuff like that. My second job, I work on outdoor power equipment, snow blowers, lawn mowers, all kinds of stuff like that. It's pretty easy stuff to work on once you have the skill set. Appreciate everybody watching, everybody hitting the like button. As Emerson said, I would appreciate the subscription. It's free. It only takes a second. Oh, cop's got somebody pulled over up the road there. Good thing I'm going this way. Can't quite see this car coming. There it is. Well, I got a second. Oh, Elverson. My bad. The other thing that I haven't really talked a whole lot about, but I recommend finding a local ministry, if this is your prerogative, finding a local ministry that needs some volunteers. There's a local ministry to me where they're always looking for people to help serve supper, their evening meal Monday through Friday. Kind of to go back to the farming and the market garden concept, is that my wife and I live on 1.7 acres, where I've been slowly, when I have time, with warm weather and whatnot. It's been cold here lately, but according to the AccuWeather, the next couple of weeks is going to be really warm during the day. Well, not really warm, but above freezing, and that's kind of the weather I like to work in, outside. Cutting down some trees, clearing space for the garden. If there's anybody new, since I started streaming just, 10 or 15 minutes ago, I go live twice a day. The morning is a really consistent time. I tend to leave this house about the same time every day. The afternoon stream can vary depending on if my second job needs some help. But anywhere from, the afternoon stream is anywhere from 1 o'clock to, could even start as late as 4 o'clock. I might put up a poll later for the next topical deep dive, so you guys will have the opportunity to have a vote on what the next study is for the members over on Patreon. I did that last week. Only got one vote, but one vote's enough to decide the next study for the members. I'm trying to build this organically. My mom made a suggestion, was it Thursday or Friday, sometime last week, about the Q&A thing. Oh, there's not even a trailer there anymore. Wow. So I decided that day to stop, pull over, take any questions. It kind of seems to be a consistent thing, so I think I'm going to start adding that to every stream. So like I said, if you want to leave a comment, a question, I haven't been very clear on something, leave a comment. I think I've got a spot near the end of the ride where I'll answer questions even if you're not around, where you can hang out, ride with me. I streamed for just under an hour. The Q&A might bump that up to an actual hour, but again, the morning ride doesn't have much leniency with time. I've got it pretty much down to a science when I leave the house and get to work. And yeah, for now, you're my top fan, Elverson. There's been people that have come in and played the game, made a bunch of comments, and then left. You know, it's part of the game, I guess. Not saying that you're doing that, but thank you for being supportive. And maybe once the live is over, you can check out some of the other replays. Maybe go check out the Patreon page, see if there's anything over there that interests you. Or if you know somebody that's a Christian and might enjoy the content, please share it with them. Boy, that sun is bright this morning, huh? When I left the house, it was -1 degrees Fahrenheit. No, I really appreciate that, Elverson. Oh, my nose is all stuffed up. It's cold. I've thought about flipping the camera every once in a while to kind of show some of the scenery. Not really sure about that one yet. Yeah. Heat wave. It's coming. This weekend, it's supposed to be above freezing. It's like there's a sneeze right there at the end of my nose, but it doesn't want to let go. I guess I can't trust YouTube for the numbers because I know there's at least one person watching, trying to watch. I've also started, I wouldn't say it's a church service or a home service, but it's a home study. Yesterday I went and fellowshipped, whatever you want to call it, with my grandmother, and we went through the crowns that believers might get when they get to heaven. It's an additional, it's a gift, reward, however you want to word it. Things that we do as Christians that turn into crowns when we get there. I don't know exactly where to put that. I might put it over on Facebook. I have to edit the study a little bit, but it's really interesting to see, you know, those little rewards. You know, we have salvation, but we can also look forward to some of those crowns, if not all of them. Elverson, that's an interesting name. Oh, there's the sun. wonder what everybody else's temperature is. So temperature where you at? Where you are at? Wow, words. Again, I'm at -1 Fahrenheit, Central Maine. Thank you everybody for joining. Y'all are a bunch of hitchhikers and I appreciate it. I might have to put out a shirt or something at some point. My fellow hitchhikers. As believers, we are just, we're ambassadors, of course, but we're sojourners, we're travelers in this world. This isn't our home. You know, when we pass away, when we die, we get glorified bodies, we become perfect beings. But in this world, we are imperfect, broken creatures. The great thing is we can become new creatures in Christ. 2 Corinthians 5:17 says that we will be new creatures in Christ. We're a new creation. You know, we may not lose all of those old habits and those old ways, but we're always aspiring towards progress. We'll never attain perfection. Boy, this truck come up out of nowhere, huh? Yeah, if I didn't know any better, that looks like a cop car. ICE or whatever. Excuse me. Starting to feel that heat a little bit. I mentioned it on Saturday's little special stream that my blower motor in my heating system, anything above what it's at now, would make an awful noise, and it wouldn't be very good for the stream. Four people watching, that's awesome. Well, thank you for joining me. Again, y'all are a bunch of hitchhikers. I'm glad I've got somebody to talk to on the ride to work. Otherwise, I'd be stressing out about how people are driving. And since I've been streaming, I don't even really bother with it. Most sections of the road, I put it on cruise control and chat with you guys. Again, if you put a comment or a question in, prayer request, or praise of what God's doing in your life, when I make my stop, I'll check it out. The only spot I can think of is towards the end of the ride, so even if you do leave a comment or a question, you don't necessarily have to stick around, but it would be helpful. For those who might be watching the replay later on, I put out daily devotionals Monday through Friday at noon. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/Brother Alec. I also put out some content for people who are willing to support the ministry at $1 a month. You'll get weekly topical studies, deep dives into particular themes. You know, the last one was chosen by poll here on YouTube. I'm still contemplating on where to put. I think Facebook might be the best place to put it. I do have a Christian group over there on Facebook where I haven't really posted much, but I think I want to extract another piece of content out of what I'm doing and post it over there. Now you're number one. Good job. This SUV behind me looks awful suspicious. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but regular plates, white SUV with black tinted windows. Am I being paranoid? A little bit, maybe. What a blessing, though. I get to go to work, make some money, provide for my family. I believe it's Ephesians. Don't know if I'll get the chapter and verse right. May not even be the right book, but I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, you know. If it was just me, I probably wouldn't be as far ahead as I am now, which isn't very far. It's an odd noise. Must have been a car that went by me. Yeah, it must have been a car that went by me. Nice, 4 people, probably more than that, because YouTube doesn't know how to count. Oh, it might be my truck that's making that noise. It's not a bad noise, it's just a noise that I'm not sure if that's suspension noise or... Well, the SUV isn't following me, so that's a good thing. Here we go. Yeah, I've thought about opening up maybe a Shopify store with some Christian materials, bookmarks, and offering different translations and versions of the Bible for sale. But like I said before, earlier in the stream, I want to try and do this as organically as possible. So if you guys would be interested in maybe buying a Bible through me or devotional books, I'm gonna check it out today, see what the process might be of opening up a Shopify store or some kind of online store. Not sure, you know, which way to go with it, but maybe some, I know there's Christians out there who like to journal a lot, so maybe some Christian journals, some inspirational stuff like daily or weekly planners. No, now the sun's going to be in a bad spot. I think that's the best way to do it. Having multiple different offers available, I think, would make people more willing to maybe buy something, maybe not commit to $1 a month, or maybe, you know, it sounds bad, but selling my, the message that I create for Sundays, $1, set it up as a PDF. I'm not trying to make a bunch of money, I'm just trying to make enough money to live on without having to commute every day. And then I would be able to stream at home. Even though it's not great reception out there. Yeah, I'm yawning in the morning. Goodness. The other day I kept track, I think it was Friday, on the way home. It was like 12 times I yawned. I wish there was a way, maybe I haven't figured it out yet, a way to, when I'm going live, share the link over on Facebook, or maybe have somebody that I could work with that's up in the morning, maybe not necessarily driving or anything, but somebody that can kind of help me get this out onto Facebook and get more people funneled into the stream. Facebook streaming isn't really an option until maybe we get better cell service out here. I haven't tried Patreon yet. Maybe if I get enough people interested over there, I might try streaming on one of the streams. Maybe, well, we'll see how it, but maybe on the ride home. But that would still be a free stream. I'm not limiting that to Patreon members. I know on Saturdays, when both Cheryl and I are in the vehicle, we get a little goofy sometimes. It's sitting really high, isn't it? That's all right. That's kind of our goofy day. Just trying to have some fun with it. Get up to speed here in a second, get on cruise control, figure out what I want to talk about next. I mean, what kind of conversations do you have with hitchhikers? If you pick up hitchhikers, give people rides, whatever you want to call it. Making good time though. Should be able to make our stop and answer some questions, read some comments, see if there's any prayer requests or praise of what God's doing in your life, whatever blessings He's given you today. I love it when people want to pass me. Hey, how you doing? And it's like people don't budget their time, schedule their time. They're always in a hurry. It's like I do this thing twice a day. I have all people passing me because, I mean, I'm doing the speed limit. I come up with all kinds of crazy ideas though. Like one of my dreams is to have like boat tours. You know, there's all kinds of boat landings here on the Penobscot, and I'd like to be able to offer, you know, boat rides. It's, you know, $20 a person, go up to the next boat landing and back. I'd say that's a pretty decent ride. You know, get 5 or more people on a boat. That's $100 to go an hour, maybe 2. You know, starting out, I'll have to get one of the free boats on Marketplace or something and get the engine running right and all that. But eventually I'd like to have, like, give people the option of having, like, a party boat. You know, bring on, you know, 20 people. I don't know how many people fit on a party boat, but how about this? While I'm smoking, can I flip it? Oh, that's horrible, man. see how that works. That looks awful. Pretty simple view though. The other idea that I had, the guy I worked with at the go-kart track, he's a Jeep guy. And then there's guys that I work with now that are kind of, they like off-road stuff. So I thought about having like an outdoor, or not outdoor because it'd have to be outdoor anyways, but like a 4x4 park. People can bring their own rigs, whether they're Jeeps or four-wheelers, side-by-sides, dirt bikes. Just ideas that pop into my head. I write stuff down. Let's flip this back now. Can I do it? Yeah. Oh, you're gonna pull out in front of me, aren't you? No? What are you gonna do? Thank you. Oh, it's a little bit warmer in here. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I can feel it on the back of my hand though, it's a little chilly. But it's warmer out than outside though. Bunch of hitchhikers. Yeah, I might make that into a shirt. The easiest way to do it would probably be putting some Bible verses on some shirts. I know there's a bunch of different t-shirt websites out there that I could set it up through them, so you guys just have to go over to that website and maybe at some point order a bunch and then mail them out myself. Oh, another washer. That's the problem with having this snowblower in the back for weight, because I can't pick up stuff off the side of the road. I mean, I can kind of cram it between the snowblower and the front of the bed or whatever, but on a washer. That's kind of our side hustle. The wife and I, we don't mind picking up stuff off the side of the road, whether it's to give away to other people or scrap metal or collecting for ourselves. We found a bunch of different stuff on the side of the road, appliances like air fryers, microwaves, electric stoves, like the little, I don't even know, they're not really in an oven, but you can cook some stuff in them. Basically a convection oven, yeah. Movies, DVDs, we've got a big DVD collection. It's one of the things that we do collect. Like, we've got a bunch of Marvel movies and DC stuff, and Fast and Furious series. I'm a car guy, so not a mechanic, I'm a car guy. But I'm a Christian, first and foremost. Boy, that's quite a load, brother. Hitachi crane or digger of some sort. That being said, I'm a Christian. Looks like nobody's watching. Maybe Cheryl is, but it says 0. I put out daily devotionals Monday through Friday. They come out at noon over on the Patreon page, patreon.com/brotheralec. I also put out some content for those who are willing to support the ministry at $1 a month. Pretty much all my topical, thematic, deep dives, studies. The most recent being God's wisdom is not hidden. The one before that being spiritual maturity. I stated earlier that I may put up another poll to see what you guys decide what the next topical deep dive is. So for free, you'll have a voice in what the members see for content. Again, I'll be doing a Q&A here in about, depending on traffic, I guess, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I think we've seen that Jeep at the shop. I won't mention the license plate, but let's get it down to right about there. See what happens. I can really appreciate it when those who become my number one fans are my number one fans, people that know me. Nothing against the people that I don't know, but I've seen on multiple streams where people come in and just make enough comments to become the number one fan, but what they don't realize is there's people that will come on after the big number thing at the beginning of the stream. They'll come in later and take over the number one spot. My wife just proved that. So yeah, getting back to the faith-based intentional tiny house community idea. That idea came to me in 2012, standing in the supper line at a local homeless shelter, talking to a buddy of mine, and the idea just popped into my head. Why couldn't we just take all these people that are in supper line, put them on a piece of property, and kind of give them a little bit of management and oversight? But over time, the community itself would be self-managing, self-sufficient. But it all boils down to people's willingness to take that step. If it's offered for free, I would have jumped at the opportunity at the time if it had been an option. So if anybody uses Facebook, keep an eye out for Christian Fellowship Guild. I'm going to try and start putting out more content on that page. Maybe everything that I publish on Patreon for free, I can put over there as well. Maybe the short that YouTube kind of decides for me, I'll put that over there, a link to that as well. Of course, a link to the YouTube channel, because this is where I kind of want YouTube to kind of be the central funnel, as it were. Is number 2. Once I get out of the truck and moving around, I won't have that problem. It's just when I'm basically sitting here, making sure traffic doesn't get in my way, and making sure I don't get in traffic's way. Utility work ahead. If there's any locals watching, North Brewer, Route 9. They're doing some work next to the road, on the road, not sure yet. So just a few more minutes and we'll get to the quick Q&A, read some comments. So the signs are up, but nobody's working. Huh. Maybe see if there's any prayer requests or praise of what God's doing in people's lives. Mr. Steven, he missed me. Darn it. One of the guys I used to work with at Twin City Tire now drives a school bus locally here. Every once in a while I catch him and I'll wave. For anybody watching the replay, I stream twice a day, Monday through Friday. Cheryl and I were talking about the Saturday stream, maybe doing Facebook stream while we're in town. Oh, there's no parking spots there, is it? Gonna go to the other parking lot here. Oh, that snowblower is like bouncing all over the place. Oh, okay. Get a little bit of shade here. So this is your last chance to get some Q&A, some comments. Let's see, Elverson. Elverson was pretty active during the beginning, but it looks like he dropped off. I love you too, dear. I shall return in just a moment. All right. Now for the home stretch here. See if I can get around this guy. Now, the next battle is to get out onto this main road again. Well, let's take advantage of that. I mean, you don't need to ride my bumper, lady, but that's all right. All right. So, I've been really tossing the idea around in my head of starting to part out vehicles. I've been watching some videos. I do have some mechanical skills. Parting out cars, wheels, tires. I mean, even used parts, wipers, headlight bulbs, fuses, trim pieces, badges. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that can be parted out or scrapped. I know there's some stuff on Facebook Marketplace for less than $500. I might try it. 3 or 4 different cars. Maybe get to the point where I can actually hire somebody to help me do that. You know, drain the fluids, drain the gas, all that stuff. Sell off the engines and the transmissions for cores. Seats, interior bits and pieces, body panels, headlights, taillights, the whole doors. I mean, I've seen some videos where people just take the whole door off. You know, at least up here in the north part of the country, there are people who use a second set of wheels to put their snow tires on. Just makes it easier on, you know, the shop to just take the old ones off, put the new ones on. I'm not so sure about glass though. Window glass, windshield glass, the hatches on vehicles, trunks, whatever you want to call it, tailgates, you know, whatever the vehicle may be, car, truck, SUV, otherwise. Let's see, Maine refined canine, don't live in fear. Okay. Oh, and then this driveway up to work is just full sun. Got to acknowledge people when they let you in. Even though I don't agree with it, make me wait. Because if you think about it, if we all let one person in on the commute to work, that'll add minutes to the total time it takes to get to work. So just everybody use your right of way. If you have the right of way, take it. If you don't, you gotta wait in line just like everybody else. But I do appreciate it when people let me in. So I guess it might make me sound like a little bit of a hypocrite, but so be it. A lot of cars in the parking lot. Boy, can't see nothing with that sun in my face. Let's see, it looks like we've touched all of these cars. This truck, though, I haven't seen that truck. Let's go. So it's been fun. I hope to see some of you hitchhikers later on. I gotta go work. Blessed to have a job, if not two, most days.